Joining us this evening from the Marquette Catholic Diocese is Bishop John Doerfler. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us and for agreeing to have this conversation with us tonight.
Well, it's good to have this opportunity to speak with you, Sarah. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So this is not an easy conversation, but I think that it's one that people have a lot of questions about and people are eager to learn more about. What was your initial reaction to the AG's report a couple of weeks ago?
I think the AG report was more or less what I expected it to be. Those abusers who had either long been deceased or removed from ministry were known to us. So people had come forward over the years to report how they've been just very deeply wounded by this grave evil of clergy sex abuse. So the report was more or less as I expected it to be. And I'd just like to say to anyone who has been harmed by a priest or deacon or anyone in the church, I just want to offer a very sincere apology on behalf of the church. And for anyone who's not come forward, I really would invite you to come forward and report what happened to you. We'd like to walk with you in a journey of healing and extend God's peace and love.
Absolutely. What is that reporting process like? What are the steps that are taken?
Okay. Well, first of all, we encourage everyone to report any incident of clergy abuse to the civil authorities. So we first of all encourage people to do that. We have in our diocese 2 people who serve as victims assistance coordinators, and their phone numbers, contact information can be found right on our diocesan website. Under Protecting Children, and simply making a phone call or writing a confidential letter. So we'd be very happy to reach out, and the victims assistance coordinators are there to listen compassionately and help to provide whatever means might be needed on a person's journey of healing.
Sure. I don't want to speculate. I don't want you to have to speculate, but why do you think that this keeps coming up within the church? This isn't something new. It's been happening for decades. And also to note that the Catholic Church is not the only church that deals with these sorts of allegations. Are there changes that have been made over the years that, maybe weren't in place decades ago, that's why this seems to be happening so frequently?
Yeah. Definitely some changes have been made. And here in the Diocese of Marquette, the last known incident of clergy sex abuse of a minor occurred in 1997, 25 years ago. So that already is some time ago. And in the early 2000s, across the United States, some norms were passed to deal with these matters much more effectively. So along with that is some more effective means of prosecuting in church law the offenders to remove them definitively from priestly ministry. And then also we've initiated a whole program of various steps to help keep children safe. So among those is criminal background checks for all clergy, religious employees, volunteers who would be working with children. Here in the Diocese of Marquette, which comprises the whole Upper Peninsula of Michigan, 93 parishes and missions, over 60,000 Catholics. We have over 1,700 people who are in either employment or volunteer ministry who've gone through these background checks. In addition to that is safe environment awareness training. So all of these people are required to go through a program to help them spot the signs of child sexual abuse. So these things have been in place for about 20 years, and so if people are attuned to something that might be happening, they know how to recognize it and then also report it. So the civil authorities as well as we can act definitively on it. And I believe these various protocol that we have in place have done a lot to help keep children safe.
Sure. Just one final question. Like we mentioned, the Catholic Church is not the only church, denomination, or religious organization that has dealt with this sort of thing. We've seen this recently within the Southern Baptist Convention, different evangelists, Protestant evangelists over the last couple of years. How do you hope that the Catholic Church can serve as an example of what to do or maybe what not to do when confronting these sorts of situations?
Yeah, I think our past history of what happened decades ago is an example of what not to do. You know, we need to be able to report the abuse, and we must be able to act on it definitively and make sure we can do whatever we can so it doesn't happen. And I believe the protocols we've developed over the last 20 years you know, have been very effective and can serve as a model for other organizations as well. Child sexual abuse is a grave problem in our society. And, you know, and I would hope that a report such as this just makes everyone aware that this is a problem in our society that we need to work together, and we really need to work together to try and solve.
Sure. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us this evening for that insight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.